All right, we're back on the case. If you haven't seen the first part, what are you doing here? Go watch it. You can look at these questions again. Probably won't answer them right away. We're probably going to review some stuff first. But the questions are, how did Max Glover die? Who sent you the envelope? Who sent the torn letter? Who committed the crime? So another thing that we were able to do was fill out some more details, especially in this timeline. And, you can't really avoid seeing more information that we missed. So we need to catch you guys up to speed. But maybe first we can go through each person again. So one thing maybe might have been glaring to everybody was this person. We were so confused about who this is. There's only one real widow that we've encountered so far. And that, of course, is Sarah Butcher. She is Carrie's mom. All right. The only other information we had was the credit card, which matched with the record on the gas station document at 11:45. And we know from the map that it takes about 40 minutes-ish, or 40 minutes between New Haven and Great Falls. So if she's in Great Falls around that time, pretty exonerating. All right, next we have the assistant who was replying to the emails where they lost Max's allergy test results. We have Carl Walsh, who is hunting buddies with Thomas Butcher from the photo. Philip Anderson, we'll probably get back to him. There's a lot of stuff on him. Mary Pierce is the fair organizer who had the Green Initiative where they used reusable cups with people's names on them. So someone could have easily known where Max's cup was and might have did something to it. We have Carrie Butcher, might go back to her too. Sandra Bridges, who is the wife of Stephen Bridges. She works at Great Falls Hospital. We found out she's the one who wrote us the letter and sent us all this information over Max's death. And of course, Stephen Bridges, who works in New Haven. According to the news article, usually comes home after 8. He's the one who also took Max's allergy test. Richard Donnelly, he owns the bar, had a meeting with the regulars. There's also something Tiff caught where he was like home something insurance, even though he has a plan with them or for his wife who passed away. We have Robert Walker, the pastor who was trying to expand the church. And Max was the chairman of the anti-church movement, trying to get it stopped. But the plans got approved ahead of time, so it would have been pointless. Ian Brown is the coworker who Max got the promotion over him, and it was kind of a surprise. Nobody knew why. Maybe something suspicious there too. Okay, so now we're back to this connection. Philip and Carrie are in a relationship. The father, Thomas Butcher, did not approve of the relationship, but there's also something going on where Carrie was a secret child. He was kind of out of her life. Finally, Max Glover, our victim, who died right after giving a toast. We know he has a peanut allergy. And anyone could have gotten to that cup if they know now that his name was on it. There's a lot of more details, but we'll probably get back to this. The other thing we wanted to show was not this, but this. So we finally had time to fill out some of these details in the calendar. So in November, Thomas Butcher writes the letter to Carrie.
We're assuming that's Thomas Butcher, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's Thomas Butcher, and then she tore it up.
It's just the weird part where he talks in third person, which is weird.
Right. But I don't know. I'm just going to assume. And then a few days later, there's the fire where Thomas Butcher dies. Then we have the memorial service in the next week. And then in early December, Carl applies for the arrest warrant, saying he had sufficient evidence, but it was denied for some reason. And we know Carl was really close with Thomas. And in January, Philip starts his telecomming service where we were able to hear the voicemail. Gary Watson. Oh, it was interesting. I saw this in the newspaper. Basically, I went through any date I saw and just added it. See, there's 2 deaths here. Deputy mayor. So, I don't know. And then January 18th, the police server login was changed. We were able to ourselves to access the file because we saw the memo. In February, Carrie is messaging with Philip on Valentine's Day. On the 22nd, they had their meeting at the bar with the regulars. And the next day, Rosaline Donnelly dies. You see that in the newspaper. And the newspaper came out on the 25th, where it talks about Max's promotion as well. I just noted there was a thunderstorm, just because we noticed that too in the weather. I don't know if that's going to be significant. March, we have Max, who takes his allergy test towards the end. And then we have April, the big month. So April 1st, according to the voicemail, Stephen Bridges accepts the cleaning service from Philip. So he starts cleaning the hospital, I think. So he could have been at the hospital. Places him there. On the 8th, Max denies Richard Donnelly's insurance. On the 10th, we saw the voicemail from Philip's mom to bring stuff to the hospital. On the 11th, Philip messages Carrie that he found something. On the 12th, Max's test results were ready. And also for the sonogram, we're not quite sure because there's no year on the sonogram. So it's 4/12 here, but we don't know the year. And we did see Max's fingerprint on that sonogram. I'll get back to this, but on the 15th, Max's test results were misplaced. Then on the 18th, the lawyer from the Fox and Associates got Richard's insurance to be covered. They came to an agreement with possibly Max. I don't know who was the agent. On the 20th, Pedro messages Philip to hang out. Philip says he had plans. On the 22nd, Pedro left a voicemail to borrow Philip's car. He said he needed it for Saturday. And then according to the messages, he said he would pick it up Friday morning. We'll get to Friday. There's a lot of stuff happening on that Friday. And then on the 24th, the church expansion was approved. And then, of course, on the 26th, Max Glover dies. And here's the part. So on the 30th, according to the document from the hospital, Carrie was discharged from the hospital. And it said that she was there for 3 weeks. So that places her sometime in this week, where she's actually messaging with Philip that she gets into a car accident at some point and then is admitted to the Great Falls Hospital. So here we can see Great Falls City Hospital, right, on the top. Duration of stay was 3 weeks and the discharge was 4:30. And it says that, she was in a car accident. So possibly that car accident happened 3 weeks ago. So let's go to the messages. Oh, and there was actually one thing I realized here too, that we kind of got backwards as we were getting backwards with both of these messages. So I think what threw us off was because it mentions cleaning here, but the green is Carrie, not Philip, right? Because this is Carrie's phone. So it kind of changes the perspective a little bit. If that's the case, then this green message is really important. So it says, I can't get a hold of you. I've been carrying something around for a long time and I have to get it off my chest. When I was helping my mother with her spring cleaning a few weeks ago, I found something that totally messed me up. And her fingerprint was on this envelope. So maybe she found this.
I see. Wait, so let me reread this because, we read it with the other way, right?
Yeah.
So that means the person she's messaging is Philip, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's the one that said, "You always leave me speechless." So actually, he's the one that wrote the letter on Docs.
Yes. So we got it way backwards.
Which means, so we had a theory, like off camera, that possibly Philip is the real son of Thomas Butcher. And Philip and Carrie are dating. That poses a problem.
Yep, because it's not just a preference as to why he doesn't want them to be in a relationship.
I mean, it is true. They will have issues with their future children.
This now is not Carrie, but it's Philip.
Yeah.
And this is wrong. So, I tore up your letter right away. Okay. But,
So that means the torn up letter is written to Philip.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Not Carrie.
So right here, it doesn't say daughter. It just says child.
Yeah.
Okay. Secret child. That makes way more sense now. We were wondering why Carrie's name is just out in the newspaper.
But it's really weird because in this letter where he says, "I am speechless," that part, if I have to remain a secret, I understand that. So he understands about, the secret child in the torn up letter. And then after that, he writes, "I understand that my relationship is not good for me, ...
Oh, you're in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still, I can't give it up.
Yeah, so does he know that he's related?
Yeah, so that's weird, right? Can we go back to the torn letter? I want to reread that again.
Okay, with the new perspective. Yeah. So this is Thomas writing to Philip. "This is the first time I have ever contacted you, and I realize it is much too late. Nevertheless, it is very important to me to write to you at last. You must have been wondering for a long time why your father left so long ago and why you never met him. At the time, there was nothing else I could have done, and your mother and me, well, I was married. And your mother and me." So this is Philip's mom, not Sarah.
Right. So we don't know who Philip's mom is.
No.
But
well, we do know, like, she's in the story, but we don't know her name.
No, yeah.
Okay.
And when he said when I was married, he's talking about possibly Thomas himself and Sarah.
Okay. Yes. Okay, this is making way more sense now. Okay. "I am ashamed, but I can't undo what happened. You, our child, had to remain a secret. Now that you know how hopeless the situation is and know about the circumstances, I hope you will understand why I had to contact you. Your relationship is not good for you, and it won't be good for your future children either. Please reconsider and split up. It's too awkward for me to sign this letter with my name just in case it falls into the wrong hands. But I think you know who I am. Maybe we'll get to know each other well one day and not just superficially as we do now." So you were right that they might have been interacting with each other, but he didn't know that he's his father.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to the text messages, if we reread it with the understanding that the green is Carrie and Philip is in white, he says, "Happy Valentine's Day." And then she says, "You make me happy too. I finally have Facebook. Check out my page and you're going to love it. Hey, you made the same mistake again," about his misspelling of speechless. And then he says, "You're right. I'll pay more attention next time. Cool that you have Facebook, but I can't find you." And then she says, "It's under my real name. Maybe you forgot my Holy Virgin middle name, ? He says, "Yeah, I found you." And then in April, she says, "Please give me a call. I can't get a hold of you. I've been carrying something around for a long time, and I have to get it off my chest. When I was helping my mother with her spring cleaning a few weeks ago, I found something that totally messed me up. I have to talk to someone about it, so please call me." And he says, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't have my phone on me. I'll call you or come over later."
Okay. So she has the Facebook page, and her middle name is Mary, which makes more sense than Philip Mary Anderson.
Yeah. But another thing too, the second image, the screenshot, 4/11. You were saying that around that time is when she got in a car accident.
So let's update this timeline. So actually, it's not Philip who found something. it's Carrie who found something.
Which makes sense because in all of these, like the envelope and stuff, it says it was found in Sarah's desk.
Okay, so I'm just gonna assume that she found the envelope, and it just point out that Max was possibly responsible for her father's death. Does that change anything else? So Philip says he will call or go over. It's backwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Philip to Carrie's, but Carrie gets into a car accident.
Yeah.
We don't know when exactly.
It must have happened if, let's say, this text message is accurate, that Philip did visit Carrie, then I'm going to assume that she got in an accident not on the 11th, but after, right?
Or what if they never met up? I don't know.
Because if, let's say, on the 11th, Philip went to go visit her, and he finds out about Max possibly being the culprit of the father's death, then the 12th, the next day, makes sense that Max's test results are missing.
That's true. So either one of them could have been responsible, or they have a reason, a motive.
Well, more so Philip, right? Because Carrie got in the accident right after, around that time.
Right. Because, okay, so if it's 3 weeks exactly, then that's on the 11th, right? And it goes missing on the 12th. So, I don't know.
Well, 15th, actually.
Huh?
The test results are ready on the 12th, but then they said that the test results are missing on the 15th.
Yeah, he's told to come in on the 15th, but they're ready on the 12th, right? Mm-hmm. So he comes in on the 15th, and then they're missing. Mm-hmm. And there's something else here, too. So it says, your colleague couldn't find them, even though she was sure they had already come back. We know that this is New Haven, so it's Stephen Bridges, not the wife, and his assistant was the guy, Peter Roberts. So who is this colleague if the wife doesn't work there? Originally we thought it was his wife. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of suspicious.
Yeah. Can we go back to the text messages? Because I want to reread the right side.
I think the right side we have correct.
Oh, okay.
This is still Philip messaging with Pedro. And
okay.
Now we know when according to the voicemail, he's responding to the voicemail. And he says, sorry, I wasn't available, and sure, no problem about borrowing a car. And he says, great, I'll come by early Friday and pick it up. And then, of course, also according to the voicemail, he says he needs to borrow it for Saturday. So I think we were correct in the police camera, the red light shot, that it was Pedro driving, not possibly.
Should we go visit Facebook?
Sure. All right. Carrie Mary Butcher. In a relationship. Whoa.
Cover your eyes, children.
Hey people, I'm going to be in the paper. Pick up a copy of this week's issue tomorrow wherever you can. I promise it'll be worth it.
Why do they have to post a picture like that?
Okay. And a very happy new year. Oh, what was that? 2020, February 17th. December 2019. Happy New Year. Wishing you all Merry Christmas 2019. Holiday, here I come. I'll be back in 2 weeks. October. Still way after the events. So apparently it's going to be super hot today. Does anyone feel like chilling at the open air pool? I'll treat you to large ice cream in the coffee shop after. Okay. And finally, I'm free again. The plaster is off and I'm no longer stuck in that awful wheelchair. People, do me a favor and don't drive so fast, especially on winding roads. Despite my bad luck that day, I'm seriously lucky I'm still alive. Look at the map.
Sure.
Well, over here.
Well, that day, May 15th, is when?
When she's out of the wheelchair.
I know, is that the same date that you estimated?
It doesn't go up to May in the game because it's only up to April.
Oh, because she was discharged at the end of April.
End of
right?
April, yeah. I guess she was still in the wheelchair for a while.
Technically, what's a windy road? Because these have bends.
This looks like windy. Right here.
Yeah, but so does the top one and the bottom one.
Okay, maybe you shouldn't
not
read
enough.
too much into it.
Yeah.
All right, so the 11th. Well, I'm in hospital. I had a serious car accident 2 days ago. Broke my arm, and I'm told I'll be stuck in a wheelchair for a good while yet. Okay, so that's the 9th. But now we know. So visit her in the hospital.
Which hospital did she go to again? New Haven, right?
Yes. No. She goes to Great Falls. So how did she find the envelope, though?
Probably earlier.
It's just something. Found something. We don't know what she found. Maybe we shouldn't assume again.
I think it's safe to assume the envelope.
But how if she's in the... She already got into a car accident.
Yeah, so probably before then.
Okay, let's just go back to the
Yeah.
Facebook page. Please come and visit me. Okay. Finally, I'm starting work at my mother's shop at the beginning of April. I can't wait to see you all there. It's a great feeling. Keeping it in the family.
As of April.
Okay. R.I.P. Dad, I'll love and miss you always. November 16th. Yes. Madly in love with you, Philip. It's on October. Anything else you want to see? No workplace, no school. Nothing. No friends show. We saw the photos. No videos. No check-ins. Okay, probably just the detail about when she got into an accident, right?
So another thing I want to look at, unless you have another idea, another plan of action, is to look at the calendar, the cleaning service calendar, and compare that with the timeline.
Here, you look there, and I'll look here.
So, like, for example, if we think that maybe our top suspect is Philip, right? Then we need to know when he possibly could have taken it and where was he. And also, when you reviewed the text messages between him and Pedro, and he said, oh, no, I'm busy today, I can't. Like, things like that. I want to know, like, where possibly Philip was.
Okay. So on the 20th, he said he was busy.
So on the 20th, he was at Southview. But see, yeah, I guess I don't know these addresses.
We didn't find these addresses anywhere, right?
No.
What about this week from the 7th or 8th?
So he was pretty much busy every day besides the 11th and the 12th.
And those are when Carrie found something and he possibly visited. And the 12th is when his test results were ready. So he wasn't cleaning that day.
Mm-hmm. And then on the 14th, he was at Green Row, which is also at the hospital, to clean, which is actually the day before the 15th. So I don't know.
Wait, how did you know Green Row?
On the voicemail, he said, oh, here's my address again. It's 36 Green Row.
Okay, that's a really important detail. So that puts him there right before the results went missing, right?
Yeah. I feel like there's not much information with this calendar, though, because we don't know how long does it take to actually complete the cleaning service. Like I said, a few hours. That means you have your alibi is not really cleared. And then also, like, for example, on the 26th, if we go with the same theory of, oh, if he has something on the calendar, he's taken the whole day. But on the 26th, he also had something, like another workplace to go to. But then the death was near midnight, so he wouldn't be cleaning at midnight anyway, right?
Don't think it would be.
Yeah.
Well, since you were mentioning the 26 and whether he would be working that day. Maybe we can go over some of the details of that day. Early in the morning, Pedro goes to pick up Philip's car, according to the WhatsApp message. At 11:30, jumping straight to the event, there was the chess match, Dr. Med Chess versus the Hunter. So actually, I think we kind of know who these people are now. Med Chess. It says Dr. Med Stephen Bridges.
Oh, that's exactly his writing.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even know to check the writing, too. Does that look like the Hunter?
Not really, but it looks like the same writing.
Oh, that he wrote both?
Yeah.
So if they played the match at 11:30, each match is 2 hours. So I don't know if you can contaminate a cup before you start the chess match, but maybe that's their exonerating evidence. 11:45, Max takes his victory lap. At the same time, Mama's Pasta, which is in Great Falls, has their midnight menu, and Ian Brown gave a review, so that possibly places him in Great Falls, which is 40 minutes away. Don't think he could have done that. 11:51, it's a red light moving violation, but we know that it was Pedro, so Philip's not off the hook. And then at some time between this victory lap and the emergency call, he gives a winning speech and makes a toast and collapses. And then 11:59, the inspector arrives.
Can we go to the poster and just mark off people that we feel have an alibi?
Sure. Yeah, I was thinking of filling this out. I think we can just do this instead. So we know Ian Brown. He was at Mama's Pasta.
It's a big X.
We know Stephen Bridges and Carl were playing a chess match, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, according to this credit card, we saw that she was at the gas station, so she couldn't have been there. It was 40 minutes away.
Terry Butcher was in the hospital.
She was in the hospital for 3 weeks. So for Robert, his motive would have been about the church expansion, but he got what he wanted, even though if Max was still protesting, so I don't think he would do it. And then in the interview, Mary Pierce was like, oh, he was silent when Max died. Usually, like, he would say something. What does that mean, though?
It's not enough for me to be suspicious of him.
Okay.
We don't know where Rich Donnelly is.
He also got his money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So his motive kind of is out the window. I don't know what arrangement they came to, but I don't know why he would do it. Thomas couldn't have done it because he wasn't alive. Kind of exonerating.
You sure?
Okay.
Mary Pierce did say that she was coming back. She was going back to the drink station.
Yeah, so she was at the drink station.
So technically, yeah, she was there. But there's no other information about Mary Pierce.
Mm-mm.
Well, you could put an X on Max Glover because he actually is dead.
Different meaning.
Is there any way we can, at the chess tournament, look at the other handwriting or no?
Names? Sure.
Or is that not important information?
I don't know. Okay, so 5:30 leaves 7:30. So it doesn't really help. 7 is 9:30. It doesn't really help. 9:30 would only go to 11:30. So that also doesn't help because they would all not have an alibi.
But then you would have like 10 minutes to... yeah, I guess so.
Now what?
Can we look at the answers that we need to answer? I mean, the questions that we need to answer.
So how did he die?
Peanut allergy.
Peanut allergy in his cup while giving toast. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Who sent you the envelope? That would be Sandra Bridges.
How do we know that for sure, though? I mean, we just
The
guessed.
handwriting, right? This handwriting.
Yeah, but she didn't sign it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And we know why, because there's possibly an affair.
Is the baby daddy?
Okay, who sent the torn letter?
Thomas Butcher. Oh, so we know all the answers to the questions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Except who committed the crime.
Well, I think it's Philip. Well, let's look at our poster. The only person that has motive and doesn't have any alibi would be Philip, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Donnelly doesn't really have a strong motive. Robert Walker does not. Sandra Bridges, I mean...
Oh, she's the one who sent us the information. So why would she send us all this stuff and
throw us off her scent? But yeah. I mean, they have a relationship, right?
Yeah. I think it's down to 2.
And then Perez, the assistant, doesn't really have a motive. No motive whatsoever. And he's only connected via email. So I feel like he's also X'd. And then the only people left is Mary and Philip. And then Mary...
All we know is that she was at the drink stand. That's it. That's it.
I'm pretty stuck on Philip. But then again...
Is that too obvious?
Well, it wasn't obvious to begin with because we were thrown off a little bit.
That's true. By the wording.
Yeah.
And the text messages. Okay. If it's Philip, if I did it, he's going to write a book. If I did it. Okay, let's go back over this timeline here. So whoever did it would have had to have stolen the allergy test, right? That's what we're assuming. Philip is cleaning on the 14th. So that places him there. And then, of course, we know that he doesn't have an alibi because Pedro was driving his car. Anything else? I feel like we have to be very specific. Like we have to know 100%, right?
Well, I mean, we know for sure that Philip is a secret child, right? Of Thomas Butcher, but he's dating Carrie Butcher, which is wrong, right? And so because of that, that's why Thomas said, I want you to break up. And he said in his letter, the Doc's letter, he said, you've been keeping secrets so I can keep a secret of my own, kind of disgruntled and upset. But then after they continued dating after the death, Carrie found something, potentially this letter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or this envelope with different evidence that possibly Thomas, her father, passed away due to Max's negligence and overlooking of the fire stuff, right? So because of Philip and Carrie's connection and Carrie's text message to Philip saying, oh, I found something, then that places Philip in having this new knowledge about Max possibly killing his real father, biological father. And then we can place Philip at the same place of Max's test results of the peanut allergy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how Philip possibly is at the country fair, right? That's one thing that we don't know, but we're assuming that everyone was there, right? All the possible suspects were at the country fair.
Except for those who were able to eliminate, like Ian and Carrie. They couldn't have been there.
So we're assuming that everyone should have been there unless they have a solid alibi.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Then I feel like the one person that has motive and also does not necessarily have a strong alibi is Philip.
I think so too. Let's just write it out. So it's Philip Anderson. So he found out that Max was responsible for his father's death from Carrie, right? Who found the envelope in her mom's desk while spring cleaning. That's too much detail. 14th, at New Haven Hospital, where Max's test results were lost. So places him at the hospital. And then, no alibi, as Pedro was the one caught on the red light camera. Okay. Any other details you want to add? That's
No, I don't.
Official answer?
I think the answer is just Philip Anderson, and you just wrote a huge paragraph.
We need to be precise so that when we see the solution, we caught everything. All right, here we go.
Oh, this is how you find out? It just reveals the solution?
Yeah, for the first three.
Oh, I wish there was like a section where you can click it.
That's why I wanted to fill in some details. So we have our answer, and now we're going to check. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
So we said peanut allergy in his cup while giving toast. Ready? As you probably already suspect, Max died because he had an allergic reaction to eating peanuts. Someone knew about his peanut allergy, which was confirmed by the allergy test you found on the police server. Since Max was extremely allergic to peanuts, as Stephen Bridges wrote on the test, he suffered from anaphylactic shock that eventually killed him. As Mary Pierce confirms during an interview, all of the cups at the country fair had labels on them where people could write their names. The Green New Haven Initiative had the idea of everyone keeping their own cups as a way to avoid litter. This made it easier for the killer to pick the cup Max would drink from. Obviously, the killer put the peanut extract into the cup while Max was parading through town, which Pierce had mentioned to the police. Bingo.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay, who sent the envelope? We said Sandra Bridges.
Baby mama.
Oop. If you took a close look at the police stamp on the letter with the documents you received, you probably also examined the handwriting. You might have noticed that it matches the handwriting in the letter that was found on Max's kitchen table. Both letters were written by Sandra Bridges, Stephen Bridges' wife, who was apparently having an affair with Max. That means Sandra was the one who contacted you and asked you to solve the mystery of Max Glover's death, probably because she loved him and he is the father of her unborn child. She wants the killer caught.
Shocking.
2 for 2. Okay, who sent the torn letter? We said Thomas Butcher.
Oh, and to whom?
Oh, to Philip Anderson. Ooh, that's long. This is probably one of the most difficult puzzles to solve. The sender of the torn letter is definitely a man, as he reveals himself to be the father of an unknown person. You are bound to have realized that the letter that was written on a computer, but apparently never sent, was the reply to this letter. The spell check issue provides an important clue. You certainly noticed the writer's spelling mistake, speechless. The same spelling mistake turns up again in the WhatsApp chat, which makes it pretty obvious that it is Carrie and Philip writing to each other and that they are lovers. Carrie's Facebook profile told you the same thing, as did the voicemail message Carrie left for Philip. It seems that Philip made this same spelling mistake a lot, which proves that it was Philip who wrote the reply on the computer.
Wait, she left a voicemail?
I don't remember hearing a voicemail.
I don't remember hearing a voicemail.
Hi, honey. If you're coming over later, it would be great if you could bring me something else to sleep in. The nightgowns here at the hospital are really dirty. Thank you.
But who sent the torn letter to Philip? In the letter, the father warns his son against continuing his relationship as it is not good for him and would not be good for any future children either. That makes the relationship sound like it was something almost forbidden, which is exactly what it is, because the sender of the torn letter is Thomas Butcher, Carrie's father, who died in the fire. He sent the letter to Philip, who is his illegitimate son. Philip and Carrie are in a relationship even though they are half siblings. They were unaware of this until Thomas sent his son the letter. That explains why Thomas asked his son to end the relationship. All right. Now, here is the big one. Well, where is his name? Philip Anderson. You done it. I don't know what this button does. Should I go on a new tab? Can't. Ready? Yay!
Yay! It's a long paragraph. You want me to read it?
Sure.
Philip Anderson owns the cleaning company, as you probably read in the newspaper. The company is a one-man operation. Initially, it looks as if Philip has no relationship whatsoever with Max, although there do seem to be some links through a few other people. According to Carrie Butcher's WhatsApp profile, Facebook.
Yeah, I think Facebook.
It looks like Philip is in a relationship with Carrie. Their chats also show that not long before the country fair, Carrie told him about the envelope she found in her mother's desk. That means he knows Max is responsible for the death of Carrie's father, Thomas, in the fire in 2018. It was Max's job to check the VFD hose, but he didn't do it. There are also those strange letters. There's the same spelling mistake in a WhatsApp chat Philip had with Carrie, and in the reply to the torn letter. Speechless is misspelled with an A. That means we know Philip also wrote the response letter. He was writing to his father, but who is his father? In the torn letter, Philip's father says he felt compelled to contact him and to reveal his identity. He talks about Philip's relationship not being good for him and says it would harm Philip and Carrie's future children. He pleads with him to end the relationship. Who sent the letter? Thomas was both Carrie and Philip's father. Carrie and Philip were a couple, unaware of the fact that they were stepbrother and sister. Philip resented Thomas, since he had not contacted him in all these years. Nevertheless, Philip drafted a reply to his father's letter, although he never sent it. Thomas died in the fire before he could send the reply. He said he would like to meet his father and build a relationship with him, even after all this time, but he never got the chance. Who took that chance away from him? Max Glover. Oh, so they're actually saying that it is his fault.
Yeah, he didn't inspect the fire hose.
Okay. Carrie told Philip that it was Max who didn't check the volunteer fire department hose like he was supposed to, and it was Max who was responsible for Thomas' death. The fire department couldn't put out the fire in time because of the faulty hose. Carrie discovered the proof in her mother's desk drawer when she helped her with her spring cleaning, then told Philip about it. That means Philip had a very serious motive for wanting to kill Max, since he was responsible for his father's death. But could he have known about Max's peanut allergy? This is where Philip Anderson's company, Wash Away Cleaning Services, comes into play. The voicemail from Peter Robert gave the doctor's office address, 36 Green Lane. Philip Anderson cleans at this address, as you can see from the monthly schedule for his cleaning service. He happened to be cleaning there the day the allergy test results disappeared, according to Peter Roberts. Not the day before.
Day before.
Yeah. And it's actually Green Row. That's okay. That means he had access to the allergy test results and knew about the peanut allergy. But hang on, Philip has an alibi. He was caught by the speed camera at the same time the crime was being committed. He probably found his license plate on the poster and compared it to the ticket. He was caught speeding towards New Haven, so he definitely wasn't trying to escape. Unfortunately for him, his buddy left a message on his voicemail asking to borrow his car for the weekend of the crime. In the WhatsApp chat from 422, Philip agreed he could use his car. That means Philip wasn't the one driving the car when he was caught speeding. It also means he has a serious motive and no alibi. Congratulations, you found the killer.
Woo! Cool. Well, let's just listen to this. Anyways.
Yes, hello? Is this the private investigator? Yeah, great. My name is Jason Mahoney, but of course you know me already. I was the lead investigator on the Max Glover case, and I got the letter you sent me with the information about what really happened. First of all, I think I have to thank you, even though I still don't understand how you got a hold of the police file, but you did a pretty good job. We were able to identify Philip Anderson as the killer. Of course, at first he didn't seem to be connected to Max Glover at all, but in the end it turned out that the circumstances were completely different than what we thought. As you know, Philip Anderson had a relationship with Carrie Butcher. Thomas Butcher, Miss Butcher's father, died in a fire last year. The murder victim, Max Glover, was responsible for his death. He had inadvertently failed to check and find a faulty fire hose, and the fire department couldn't put out the fire fast enough. At the time, the evidence was insufficient, but they couldn't charge Max with any wrongdoing. However, Thomas Butcher's wife, Sarah Butcher, managed to get a hold of some proof, which she hid in a safe place. When her daughter Carrie helped her with spring cleaning, she found the documents and found out that Max had been responsible for her father's death. Of course, Carrie was devastated and told her boyfriend Philip Anderson. What she didn't know at the time was that Philip Anderson had received a letter from Thomas Butcher shortly before his death in the fire. In that letter, he'd confessed to Philip that he was his father. Philip and Carrie, who are in a relationship, are actually half-brother and sister. However, you've already figured that out for yourselves. So anyway, Carrie told Philip that Max had caused her father's death, and Philip's father's death too, of course. Philip was incredibly angry with Max. Actually, he had intended to reply to his father's letter and had already written his reply, telling the father that he wanted to meet him at last, but he had never seen the letter. Then his father died shortly after in that fire. When Carrie told him why he died, Philip Anderson immediately made plans to take his revenge on Max Glover. He had started to clean the doctor's office in New Haven as part of his cleaning job. When he was there, he just happened to hear about Max's allergy test. When the results came in, he stole them and found out that Max was highly allergic to peanuts. Philip has now admitted all of this. He made a full confession. After that, Philip told us he managed to get a hold of some fine ground peanuts, which he took with him to the county fair. The fact that the cups were all labeled with everybody's names played right into his hands, of course. His chance came when Max, who had won the hot dog eating contest, was off on his victory lap around town. He added the ground peanuts to Max's drink. When Max took a sip after giving his big toast, he went into anaphylactic shock and died almost immediately. The fact that a friend of Philip's, Peter Roberts, had borrowed Philip's car at the same time the crime was being committed and got caught in a speed trap was another stroke of luck for Philip. Mr. Roberts knew nothing about Philip's plan. Well, of course, you knew more of that before we did. Still, I thought I should tell you that our case is now closed, and, well, I just want to say thank you, because without you, we would have never been able to solve the murder. If we need help with another case over the next few months, I'd like to contact you again. You have been playing a Hidden Games crime scene, the New Haven case. Go to hidden-games.de to learn about new cases and escape room adventures.
I didn't know this investigator was also
Linked to.
a creator of this game. They said that it was Peter Roberts who bought the car, even though it's Pedro.
Yeah, some details were a little bit off,
Yeah.
but you get the gist.
Okay, that was Hidden Games, the New Haven case. We solved it! If you like watching us play these types of games, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you can know when the next video comes out, which might be case number 2. So until then, hope to see you again in the game room.